Do I really need to feel inspired to write? Picture this. You sit down to write and you're staring at the screen. You're like, okay, let's write. And the screen is staring back at you and it's like, I don't think we're going to do that today. And you try to write. Yeah, but the words are not just from, they're not just coming up. And the question you ask yourself is, all these writers, they say they were inspired, they were this, but you're not feeling the inspiration. So you're like, maybe this thing is not for me. Maybe when I feel that inspiration, I am going to write. Well, I just described myself, in case you were wondering. So, welcome to the Beauty Writing Podcast. In this episode, I'm doing a pilot episode where, did I say pilot? Nah, I've been doing episodes before. But in this episode, over the course of 30 days, I will be busting different myths and excuses I have come up with that have been stopping me from writing. So each time I think that, oh, I shouldn't be writing, I'll think of these excuses and start writing. Now imagine it's Stephen King. He's walking on the eyes of the dragon. Picture this, yeah. He is trying to write, but the words are not forming. He doesn't feel inspired, nothing is coming up, he's not really getting the things that he needs to get, and guess what he does? He locks himself in the room and he has been tasked with the sole commitment that either he comes up with 6 pages of writing, which is about 2,000 words, or he cannot come out from that room. Now, in that room, he only has a typewriter, whatever he uses to write, and he doesn't have access to any of those Facebook distraction stuff or anything. And for that certain amount of time that he has been locked in that room, he can only write. And in 2 to 3 months' time, he's done with novel, The Eyes of the Dragon. Now, I know, Stephen King, leave. What about us mere mortals? Yeah, let's leave those, those legends. Let's leave them. Let's come to we more mortals. What do we do? Now, I saw a psychological, whatever, science fact that our brain, when we start doing something that is hard, our brain finds ways to create pathways in our mind to make it easier for us to do that task. So at first, when we start doing it, it's difficult, but over time we'll get stronger, we'll get better at doing it. And I feel that personally, the whole idea of do I really need to feel inspired to write? I think I don't know, but isn't this a belief that has been meant to trap us? Because every other creatives, every other persons that are in other fields, why most of them are doing creative work. Yeah, but they don't really say that, oh, when I don't really feel inspired to write, I'm not going to do any stuff. Now, I get it that you might be going through a lot of stuff, like mental, psychological, personal issues that are affecting. But, for basic, most of us that are just normal, ordinary, when we say we do not feel inspired, that is not what we're talking about. What we're saying is that we do not feel like the muse has taken over us and we feel that we're floating in the air and the words and the stories are just twisting and connecting and connecting and connecting and we're ready to write. No. So the question I'm asking myself is, do I really need to feel inspired? Or this idea of feeling inspired in order to write it, is it not a scam? Are we really sure? So now I'm asking myself, dude, sit down to write. It's going to be hard over time, but over time, you're going to figure it out and you're going to discover it and you're going to get it right. And Stephen King had the whole idea that you had to write when he was working on the project. Now, get this. I'm not going to say that everybody has a different thing that works for them, but get this. When Stephen King was working on the project, and I think that's one thing most people don't talk about. They say he writes 2,000 words a day. I'm not really sure that's what he does. It's more like when he's working on a project, when he has an overall idea that he wants to work on, he writes every day about 2,000 words for the next 3 months, and then he's done with the novel. I feel that personally, if writing was a job that we had to do, if writing, let's say the only task and the only job I had to do was writing, there was nothing else. Like, you have to write certain number of stuff and it has to be good enough. You're not going to write my name as the whole story. You have to write a story that's good and it will be published. If that was your job and you get paid based on sales and everything, why you be tortured to be inspired, but then you wake up and you show up and you write? So I'm asking myself, do I really need to feel inspired? But why just separate the feeling from the work itself. So it's more like a plumber comes like, oh, I'm not really feeling inspired to do plumbing today. Yeah, you don't feel like it, but you do it. Another story I saw of how writers have pushed themselves even though when they didn't feel inspired. I think Hugo, yeah, Victor, is it Victor Hugo? Yeah, Victor Hugo. He was given a task. He had a contract with the publisher to write a novel, and he had about, I think, how long did he have to write the novel? He had it was like he had a lot of time. Yeah, a lot of time to write a novel. He procrastinated. He didn't write. He didn't do anything about the novel. He wasn't feeling inspired. There was nothing he could write about for the novel. But then, when he was getting towards the very close to the deadline, what he did was that he locked all his clothes. He couldn't go out. He locked himself inside the house, put in tea and everything that he needed, to keep the soul and body surviving. And he forced himself to write. And guess what? In a short time, he was done with the novel. Now, I know that most of us, writing is not really our full-time gig or what we do. Writing is one of the things that we do along with other things that we do. Yeah. Yeah. Why am I sounding like, even though I know I'm talking to myself, I'm still sounding like you. Okay. Yeah. It's like you're looking in the mirror and you're telling yourself, you're giving yourself a pep talk. Dude, you have to be serious with that thing. Okay, so now the whole idea comes to the quote I saw from the game, which he and I'm paraphrasing the quote right now. He was like, "You have to lock yourself in a moment." Now, what do I mean by lock yourself? Do I mean, oh, you have to lock yourself? No. If you're a mom, for example, it could be probably find 30 minutes of time that is that you know that will not be disturbed, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes of time in the morning before the kids wake up, or in the evening after they've gone to bed, and that 20 minutes you can only sit down and you can only be in the Google Docs or whatever app you used to write, or if you use notes or you use a typewriter, whatever method you used to write, you can only be in that stuff, stare at it, not do anything, not look at the window, just stare at the blank page and write, or not write, but you can't do anything else. You can plot, you can't sketch, you can't do anything. You can only look at the story. Either you write or you just stare at the screen. And I think doing that is scary. Because then you realize that what do I have to lose? After all, it's not like I'm going to get killed if I write something bad. Yeah, if you write something bad, you move on or you edit it. But you can never edit a blank page. So now this is me telling myself that I think I have to put something. Even though we tell ourselves that, you can't put numbers. This thing has to be serious. I have to put a number to it. Yeah, I have to put a number to it. Seriously. Now, what is the number I'm going to put? Over the course of the next 100 days. Today is 22. So from tomorrow, 23rd, I'm going to wake up in the morning. When am I going to wake up? Is it 4 or 5? I'm going to wake up in the morning, which means I'm going to go to bed early. I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to write. For how long? Let's start with 20 minutes. Yeah. So now, I just gave you 3 framework that you could use to help yourself. And one is you write daily. You set a daily time. Yeah. Set a daily time. Now, it could be that you write only on weekdays. Yeah. Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday is off for you. Yeah, it doesn't have to be every day, but it could be Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. But it could be every day. Yeah, because for me, I'm like, how important is writing to you? Because for most of us, for most people, the things that are important to them, they tend to do it every day of their life, in one way or the other. Like they're just in it, in one way or the other. And for me, I'm going to pick up a project, which I don't know the project I'll pick up now, but I'll pick up a project, and for the next 100 days, I'll sit down and I'll give myself 20 minutes to write. And in writing 20 minutes, how many words can I possibly come up with? I don't know yet. But that 20 minutes, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write, I'm going to work. I'm going to come up with an exciting project to work on. But with that 20 minutes, it's a sprint. We're just going to sit down and I'm going to write. I'm going to try as much as possible to put my best into it. Yeah. So do I really need to feel inspired to write? I think at this point in time, I have to tell myself, separate feeling from the work. Do the work anyway, even though you don't feel like doing it. Yeah. So the next thing is a writing routine. I said set a day to write, commit to write frequently, daily. You set a writing routine, a time, so that it becomes normal. Like, okay, this time you write, your brain knows that. And then, what is this? I saw this one and it's like lower your expectations. Okay, so what do I mean by lower my expectations? Okay, what are my expectations actually? I think my expectations shouldn't be writing a groundbreaking, magnificent work, but my expectations should be sitting down to write something beautiful, to working with my imagination to create something beautiful. That itself is something I can control. Yeah, I can control that. And I can control if it's become something published or whatever, but I can control writing on that. And because writing is important to me, it's not something I have to profess. I have to use my time to show that it's important. Because if I can't allocate time to it, then how important is it really to me? So this is a video and a podcast to all creatives out there, and I think we covered it for do I really need to feel inspired to write? Now, for the next 100 days, I'll be writing, and as much as possible, I'll see if I can post on social media, YouTube Shorts, and all that. Okay, in next episode, I'll be talking about do I really need a perfect space in order to write? Yeah, we need to talk about it. It's very important. I feel like I have that excuse in my mind, but I feel like sometimes we believe that inspiration comes when we sit to write, but maybe the inspiration will come after we write it. Yeah, it's a terrible idea, but you start doing the work and then you feel like it. Like I saw a video where the lady was like, I'm going to change your mood in less than 60 seconds. And the lady was like, the word ha, H-A, the lady was like, you keep saying it. Every time she points a finger up, you keep saying it. And then I probably would try it. She was like, ha, 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 ha. I just keep doing the ha, ha. Do it for like 20 times, like continuously. Wow, that's incredible. So using that feature, even though I don't feel like laughing, even though I'm in a terrible mood, I'm like, I'm really hungry right now. It works. It works. It works. So I started laughing. I didn't need to I didn't need to to laugh in order to laugh. How am I able to put it? I didn't need to laugh in order to laugh. But I started laughing. I said no, not really laughing. I started laughing in order to laugh. And then I felt, that feeling of laughter. And so it's writing, and then you feel that spirit, that feeling of inspiration when you're working on something really exciting and creative project that is really exciting. So that is the project, and yeah. Until my name is Oyemichi Noah Konam, and you've been listening to the Beauty Writing Podcast. Until next time, keep writing. Now let's go do some writing.